Hello everyone. How are you all? So today we are going to start our fourth day of Java classes. Okay, we are going to cover today the loop statements. Tomorrow we have covered our operators, different operators, logical operators, comparison operators, and our arithmetic operators. Today we are going to proceed towards loop because we have also done our switch statements and also our if-else statements. Okay, so let's continue with that. Okay, and let me first share my screen, present my screen. Hmm, yes, and just give me a second. Till that part, just revise this. Okay, reload, let me reload that part. And also, so, so yeah, shall we start here from now? How many students are there in the class? Hello everyone. Hello everyone. And sorry for a little late, for being late today. Okay, now we are going to start our loops. Let's build a folder for loops. Dot Java. And if we press enter, we are going to have our basic. Then we are going to write our main method or main function. Okay, and first of all, what is loop? So to understand that, let me just open my okay, this is if else when we operate this part. Yes, while, do while. There are three types of loop which we are going to cover. First is going to be your while loop, then it's going to be your do while loop, and after that there is going to be your for loop. Okay, so let's try to understand how loop works. Okay, if we try okay to do anything repetitively, if we want any procedure to be repeatedly okay revolve around and repeat itself again and again, again and again. Okay, so at in that situation, we use while loop. What do we use? We use while loop. So we write while at first. We are after that we are having our curved brackets in which we are going to write an relatable expression. Okay, we are going to write a relevant expression. If that expression returns us true, see that very carefully. If that returns us true, then we are going to come inside our loop. Okay, inside our curly brackets, the procedure written here should be followed or is going to be followed by our compiler. And after that, it is going to repeat again and again, again and again until the expression is true. By any chance or in any conditions our expression became false, then it is going to skip our loop and will not repeat that loop again. Okay, it is going to come out from our loop. Okay, so let us just write that while true, let's directly write here true. So here we are going to present what the statement the statement is true. Hello, Juhi. Hi, Jeet. The statement is true. Okay. So let's just go on our file and close that. Okay. If this while loop is going to run, then it is going to check the situation or the condition or the expression inside our curly brackets. It is returning true, right? Yes, it is returning true. The statement is true. So it is going to run this part. Okay, let's try to check that what is going to be our output. So our open and integrated terminal. So we are in our integrated terminal now. We are in our basics. So we are going to write Java loops dot Java, and if you press enter, okay. And now you can see that the statement is not stopping itself. The terminal is not stopping. It is continuously printing it again and again and again and again. And you can see it is not even settling at any place. It is running again and again and again. So I should have to terminate this. Okay. So yes, by pressing C, we have terminated our condition, and you can see we are having unlimited print of the statement is true. Why? Because the loop was true. It was entering inside our loop, and after that it was again repeating the loop, and it was again and again, again and again, again and again. Yes, good, Gitanjali. It was turning towards an infinite loop where the condition is always true. Where the condition is always true. So it is going to run itself infinitely until we stop it forcefully. Okay, forcefully. So let's create a condition which is going to be which is going to become false at a point. Let's try to build, or you can say print, the value of ith from 0 to, I guess, 10. So what we are going to say that do not print or do not run the while loop when I is going to be greater than 10, or we can say that please remain true until our ith value becomes is equals to and less than 10. If it becomes false, then do not run yourself. Okay, good. So what we are going to do, we are going to print the value of a is, then we are going to concatenate I. Sorry, the value of I is this. It is going to be this only. Okay, and what we are going to do, we are going to apply here arithmetic operator. We are going to increment I by 1 again and again, again and again, again and again. Okay, let's clear our terminals here. Okay, and run our loop again. So you can see the value of a at first loop was run after 0. After that it was incremented to 1, and again the loop runs. It is going to check for condition that 1 is yes smaller than equals to 10, obviously. Then it's going to repeat for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and again until 10. Okay, when it is going to be 10, then this statement is also going to be true. Okay, then it is going to run again, and 10 is going to become 11. 10 is going to be 11. Then this loop is going to rerun again itself, and 11 is going to be greater than is equals to 10. So this statement became false, and it will came out from our loop. So this is going to be our, you can say, limited loop, not infinitely stuck. And how this how we are going to use our loop. So this was our while loop, and you can also try to print. We have printed 0 to 10. You can also try to print 10 to 0. Okay, so let's comment that part out and move towards let's move towards our second loop, which is going to be our do while. Okay, in while loop, we were checking the condition before the loop runs. Okay, we were checking the conditions before loop runs, but in do while loop, what we are going to do, we are going to do some certain conditions, and after performing that task, we are going to check that the statement is true or not. If the statement remains false, then we are going to came out of that loop. Obviously, if it remains true, then we are going to again repeat that, and there is one a little bit difference between this, that if a while loop have a false statement in it, it is going to run for zero chances. It is going to run for zero times. Okay, but if a do while loop having a false condition at first place only, then after also it is going to run for one time, because we are performing task before we are going to check that our condition is right or not. Just give me a second. So what we are going to do, uh, yes, we were at here that while loop is not going to run even for a single time. Okay, and do while loop is going to run for one time also. If either statement is true or false, it is going to run for one time, and after that, its repetition depends on the expression. Okay, let's test that. Let's test that part. Do we are going to perform some task that we are going to s out hello buddy, and what we are going to do, we are going to just write here its condition, do while false. Okay, and you can see we have placed here the false statement. After then also, if we try to run that, then you can see it is not going, it is also going to run that loop, or you can say perform, going to perform this task one time. Either it is true or false. Okay, if we place true here, then it is going to always, as Gitanjali said, it is going to repeat itself again and again and again. So what we are going to do, we are going to we are going to try to print our ith value from 10 to 1. Okay, we are going to s out the value of I is ith value. Okay, and what we are going to do, we are going to be implementing here your decrement operation operator. Sorry, we are dealing with ith values. So here what we are going to write, that print the value of I when it is greater than 0. If it becomes 0, then just skip from the loop. Skip out of the loop. The value of I was 10, then it was 9, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and add the time of 1. It was run again, and after that, the statement was placed as to be false. So after that, it was stopped. Okay, good. So we are done with this now. And just give me a second. Okay, so after do while loop, we are going to continue with for loop. For loop is a bit complex task, so listen it very much carefully. Okay, listen it carefully. In for loop, first of all, it runs with an iterator. It runs with the help of iterator. What do you mean by iterator, sir? Iterator is a thing which is going to be the reason why our loop is going to repeat itself. Okay, iterator is going to iterate, or you can say change its value till a point where the second expression is going to be false. Okay, it is going to be false. After that, we can skip from our loop. and until the expression 2 is going to be true, then we are going to again and again repeat this loop. And in this situation, in the condition of for loops, our iteration is not going to be done inside the curly brackets. We were iterating our values in compiler. Here na, we were changing our iterator's value inside the loop, but this part should has not to be repeated in for loop. The iteration has to be done inside this only. But also, if you are willing to do some additional iterations, you can alter, or you can say you can perform it here also. So let's write here our for loop and int a is going to be is equals to, just give me a second. So here we are in first expression, we are going to declare, or if it's already declared, we are going to assign the value to our, or you can say iterator. Okay, after that, we are going to write the expression that if ith value is less than is equals to 10, then it's going to be run again and again. It's going to repeat itself again and again. And here we are going to iterate the value. Okay, we are going to iterate the value. So this is a clear form of our loop. So here we are not going to repeat our loop again and again. So the value of a is plus a. Okay, Java loops.java, and if we are going to run that you can see the value of a is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 10. Okay, so what I was saying about the double iteration, or if I want to iterate it twice, okay, so this is also going to perform and this part is also going to perform. So the value of a is going to be like 0, then plus 1, 1, it's going to be 1, and again it's going to repeat itself, it is going to be 2. Okay, and after that it is going to just increment it by 2, 2, 2 for each loop. Let's try to see that how it looks. Then you can see 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. Okay, so this is how our loop runs. This is how our loop runs. So let's just try our one code that is going to be, first of all, we have done like one question that was telling us that how prime.java, how our, you can say, how we are going to identify our even and odd situations. In even situations, we are going to divide any number by 2 completely. Then it means that its modulus returns us 0. Then it's going to be equals to 0. Okay. So we are going to write if prime question, but before that, let's practice some basics. Okay, how we are going to perform that, how we are going to check that a number is a prime number or not. Okay, so let's declare int I is equals to 0. Okay, so we are going to perform for loop in which we are going to place a is equals to 10. Okay, so let's just walk around for a only. A should be less than is equals to 10. Then a should be incremented by 1. Okay, so what we are going to have, we are going to have our value of a for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 again and again repeatedly, but it's going to iterate itself by 1. So it's going to be from 1 to 10. Okay, so we are going to check each value of a, that it is the at this point the value of a is, you can say, even or odd. If a is divisible by 2 completely, then we are going to S out that. Just give me a second, please. If it is completely divisible by 2, then the value of A is even. Okay. And we are also going to print the value of A, I guess. Okay. And if it do not divide itself completely, then we are going to do what? S out the value of A is odd. And what we are going to do, we are going to again and again print the value plus A. Okay, and just let me place here a space. So if an else was not even implemented here, okay, sorry. We are running Java if prime dot Java. Okay, so the value of 0 is even, 1 is odd, 2 is even, 3 is odd, 4 is even, 5, 6, 7. It is going to tell you about each value of this. Okay. Let's just check that our number is prime or not. What are the conditions for a number to be having prime? Okay, if a number is prime, then what are the conditions? Can you please tell me in the chat box? Can you please tell me in the chat box that how can be a number is prime? How can we identify that it is prime? सेम यह वंस से ही डिवाइड होने वाला नंबर कोई वैल्यू है, ठीक है. Okay, yes, correct, Aman, very good. Okay, so if a number is divided by itself and by 1 only, that means the number between from 1 to its value, that means 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and until that number reaches out, it should not be divided by some other values. So what we are going to try, that we are going to try to check that the number is divisible by any other values or not. Then we are going to consider any int number which we are going to declare that it is a prime number or not. Okay, so we have taken the number here. Our loop is going to run from 2 until it is less than our number. Okay, it should be less than our number and it should start from 2 na. Okay, and at first we are going to do what? We are going to take a boolean step and we are going to consider that is prime is true. That means we are considering that our number is true. By default, we are taking that our number is true. We are assuming that our number is true. And that what we are going to try, we are going to try by dividing our number. We are going to dividing our number with each value of a, because our number is a value of a is going to be 2 a minus 1. Okay, so if our number is 10, then a should iterate from 2 to 9. Okay, so we are going to divide it by 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, and if it is divisible completely, then what is going to perform, that it is going to prove us that it is not wrong. Then it is going to break our assumption that is prime is false. Okay, is prime is false. And just give me a second, please. Yes, sorry for the inconvenience. That so where were we? It is going to divide. We are going to try to divide our number from 2 to lesser than its value. Okay. So it is going to divide by 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And if any chance it is completely divided by any number, that means it is not prime. It is not prime. Okay. So what we are going to do, we are going to check that if it's, and also if it's divisible by one time only. Okay. If in an whole procedure, if it's divided by once, okay, if it divides completely once, so what we are going to do, we are going to break our loop and we are going to come out of our loop, because we know that these each and everything is false and our number is not prime, so we are not going to repeat it for some other values and increase the complexity. Okay. So what we are going to do, after that we are going to check that if R is prime, is equals to true, then what we are going to print, then S out that the number is prime. Our number is prime. Okay. Is prime, sorry. Is prime. If is prime is true, then our number is prime. And if it is false, and if it became false, means it has entered this zone. Okay, it has been divided by any number completely. Okay, so it is not prime. So what we are going to do, we are going to print that the number is not prime. Okay, we are going to clear this part out and look if prime, the number is not prime, and that's correct. Our 10 number is obviously not prime. Let me check for 11, because 11 is prime, I guess. Huh? So for 11, yes, the number is prime. Let me check it again for 9. Our 9 value is, I guess, not. If prime is going to return that, it is not prime. Okay, so is this part is clear to you? Yes or not? Please tell me. Is this part is clear to you? Yes or not? Please. Please tell me in the chat box. And after that, we are going to be moving ahead towards our, I can say, loops. Okay. Is it? Yes. Okay. 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 So what we are going to do here, we are going to be continuing towards the patterns. Pattern.java. We are going to try to print some patterns like triangles with the help of star. With the help of, we are going to print it with the help of loops. Okay, we are going to print that with the help of loops. Okay, but we are going to try to print that if it is 1, then we are going to print it for 1. And also we are going to learn about nested for loops. Okay, so int a is equals to 0. Okay, then a should be less than, I guess we are going to print it for 4 times, so it should be less than 5. A is going to be plus plus. Okay, the inner loop is going to be completing itself or repeating itself, is going to repeat itself on the basis of eth values. Int, I guess, a, sorry, int b is going to be 0. Okay, b should be less than, I guess, eth value. Okay, and b should plus plus itself. And what we are going to do, we are just going to repeatedly, if it's 1, then we are going to print 1 one time, then 2 is going to be printed 2 times, 3 is going to be printed 3 times, 4 is going to be printed 4 times. Okay, after like that, we are going to s out and removing println, so it should be printed in a single line. We are going to again and again print a only. Okay, after that we are willing to be traversing in another line, so we are going to place print ln here. So let's try to print pattern.java. Pattern.java. If we press enter, okay, so we are having some issues. A should be less than. Okay. Sorry, we have repeated uh one mistake. Okay, so we should first write our main function and then write it inside it. Sorry, you can also repeat that mistake, so be careful about that. Okay, I have done it, so you should not repeat that mistake. Okay, you should learn from me. So java.patterns, one is going to be printed once and two and three and four. Okay, so let's try to print an equilateral triangle. After that, so if it is four, then we are going to open our paint and check the same concept we were trying to cover before. Yes, so we are going to print like one and two and three, three and three. So it cannot be a symmetrical until we are going to leave some space between them. Okay, we are going to print it like this, so it is going to be similar. And if it's not the case, then what we are going to do, we are going to leave one, two, three. We are going to leave a space. Okay, if it's a one time, then we should leave one space. Okay, so uh, eq dot java eq pattern. Okay, and after that we are going to write our main function here. We are going to write for loop int a is going to be is equals to 0. Okay, int a is going to be equals to 0 and int a should be less than, or we are going to write is equals to 5. Okay, and a should plus plus itself. Okay, after that what we are going to do, we are going to run for loop for telling that int b is going to be is equals to uh I guess the value. Okay, 5, sorry, 4 minus ath value. Okay, okay, and our bth value should be greater than 0. Okay, after that our bth value is going to be decreased. Okay, and what is going to print? It is going to print only spaces first. S out, it is going to print some spaces. Okay, so what we are going to have in a line of 5, we are going to have spaces for 4. Okay, if 4 is equals to 0, then it's going to leave some space for 1. Okay, after that what we are going to do, we are going to again write int c is equals to 0 and c should be less than the value of a. Okay, and c should be plus plus. Okay, c should be plus. And what is going to print? It is going to print s out. Okay, with what? It is going to print the value of a with a gap. Okay, then what is going to do? That first loop is going to be printing some space here, here, and here. Okay, okay, and after that, what we are going to be printing here? One and some gap, one and some gap, one and some gap, one and some gap. It is going to print it like an equilateral triangle. Okay, okay, so let's try to print that. Okay, let me first clear the Java eq phrn eqtprn dot java. If we try to print that you can see, okay, we are having it in our similar lines. Okay. Hmm. Yes, this is how we are going to complete it. So equi patterns, okay, it is going to print us in the end. So let me just leave some space here. And if now I run it again, so yes, you can see we are having our equilateral triangle. We are having our equilateral triangle. Okay, and you can do this by yourself, okay, by repeating it. And this was it for today. We have done today our loops. Okay, we have completed while loop, we have completed our do while loop, we have completed our for loop, and we have also completed our nested loop. How nested loop works, we are going to come in our value in our loop first time, and there is also a loop in present. Okay, so if we have entered a loop one time, there is also a loop, so it is also completing itself again and again and again. And if that round ends, then it is going to repeat again, and it is again going to enter and enter. Okay, so it is going to be double repeated itself again and again and again. So let's consider that it is going to run for one, and it for four, 1 to 4, and it is going to run itself for 1 to 4 also. So at first it is going to run it for 1, and it is going to for run and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 again and again, and after 5 it is going to end itself and come afterwards. Okay, and c its value is going to be 2, and after it d is going to repeat itself again and again by 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, and after then it is going to be 2, and then again it is going to repeat, and the complexity is going to be its power by 2. Okay, so it is going to be double complex with our simple loop from our simple loop. Okay, so further we are going to learn tomorrow, and today's class was very interesting. Okay, and if you like today's class, and if you are having any doubt, you can just ask me in the chat box. Also, you can ask me in the chat box. And if you are done, okay, and you are good with the concepts till now, you can just appreciate me by showing some love, okay, in the chat box. And this is it for today, guys. Thank you. Hello. Are these concepts are clear to you? Yes or no? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome. Okay. Welcome. 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 Appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, and for your free certificates, please fill up this form. Okay, please fill this form to get your free certificates, which you can use it for your, you can say, resumes that you have completed our sessions successfully. Okay, and also you can use it on LinkedIn by posting us or by tagging us, tagging LaMiCons.